Is there anything that you really would like to achieve which you think is going to be impossible?
Impossible is a strong word.
You don't like that word?
Well, it's a strong word. I sort of approach things from a physics standpoint, and the word impossible is, more or less banned in physics.
Make sure you have a good pain tolerance. There's a friend of mine who has a phrase for starting a company, is that it's like eating glass and staring into the abyss. And for those who have started companies know what I mean. It's pretty hard.
You want to do projects that are inspiring and that make people excited about the future. Life's got to be about more than just solving problems. You want to get up in the morning and say, yes, I'm looking forward to that thing happening.
Is that how you see the world? Do you see the things that don't work and can be made better?
No. I don't sort of look at things and say, okay, what's the rank ordered business opportunity from a financial standpoint or anything like that. It's really just like there's some things that don't seem to be working that are important for for our life and for the future to be good.
We don't think too much about what competitors are doing.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's important to be just focused on making the best possible products. It's sort of maybe analogous to what they say about if you're in a race.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what the other runners are doing.
Yeah.
Just run.
I think history fundamentally bifurcates in one of two directions. Either we are a multi-planet species and out there exploring the stars, or we are a single-planet species waiting around for some eventual extinction event.
You have to be prepared to live on next to nothing. I mean, when I started my first company, I had a few $1,000s. I started with my brother, and he came down from Canada, and we started this company, and we literally had a tiny amount of money. So we could either get an apartment or we could get an office, and the office was cheaper. So we got the office, and then we had sort of these futons that would be couches by day, and we'd have meetings, and then they'd turn into beds at night, and we'd shower at the YMCA down the road. That's low burn rate, basically. So if you're starting a company, really focus on having a low burn rate.
What is the one thing that has surprised you about your life?
Oh, one thing, wow. Well, I'm surprised by the whole thing, honestly. I certainly didn't expect to be for any of these things to happen, honestly. I just knew I wanted to be involved in technology, and in fact, the only reason I started a company back in '95, an internet company, was because I couldn't get it. There were only a few internet companies, and I couldn't get a job at any of them. So I tried to get a job at Netscape, and sent my resume in and tried hanging out in the lobby, but I was too shy to talk to anyone. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to start a company because I can't get a job anywhere.
The thing that gets me most fired up is that creating a self-sustaining civilization on Mars would be the greatest adventure ever in human history. It would be so exciting to wake up in the morning and think that that's what's happening.
When do you think you'll be able to achieve the aspiration of SpaceX of actually moving people to a place like Mars?
Well, I think we could probably send the first person in about 12 years.
Wow. Will you be that person?
Only if I'm confident that SpaceX will be fine if I die. That's, if I was confident that the mission would continue if I wasn't around, then I would do it. It's kind of amazing that this window of opportunity is open for life to go beyond Earth. And we just don't know how long that window is going to be open.
But I'm surprised that one topic seems not to be too fascinating for you, and that is the project of longevity and increase lifespan significantly. Why are you not passionate about that? You're not personally interested in living longer?
I mean, I don't think we should try to have people live for a very long time. It would cause ossification of society, because the truth is, most people don't change their mind; they just die. And so, if they don't die, they will be stuck with old ideas, and society won't advance.
I think it's also important to reason from first principles rather than by analogy.
So the normal way that we conduct our lives is we reason by analogy. We're doing this because it's like something else that was done, or it's like what other people are doing, and it's kind of mentally easier to reason by analogy rather than from first principles. But by first principles is kind of a physics way of looking at the world, and what that really means is you kind of boil things down to the most fundamental truths and say, okay, what are we sure is true, or as sure as possible is true, and then reason up from there. That takes a lot more mental energy. Somebody could say, in fact people do, that battery packs are really expensive and that's just the way they'll always be, because that's the way they've been in the past. You're like, well, no, that's pretty dumb, because if you applied that reasoning to anything new, then you wouldn't be able to ever get to that new thing. Like you can't say, oh, well, nobody wants a car because horses are great and we're used to them and they can eat grass and there's lots of grass all over the place, and there's no gasoline that people can buy, so people are never going to get cars.
Right.
But people did say that.
I think try to get a useful product demonstration as soon as possible, even if it's just completely jury-rigged, so people can get an idea of what your product's like or service, whatever the case may be. That they need to really feel it. Everything looks great on PowerPoint. Everything works on PowerPoint. But if you can actually get a sample or a demo or something, that really makes a difference. In fact, that was key to us getting the initial Daimler contract.
What makes you happy?
Well, I think if things are going well with family and things are going well at work, then I'm happy. Okay. If either one of them is not going well, then I'm, either half unhappy or completely unhappy. But that's I think that's generally true. Okay. If things are going well on personal life and work life, then one is happy. The biggest mistake in general that I've made, and I'm trying to correct for that, is to put too much of a weighting on somebody's talent and not enough on their personality. And I've made that mistake several times. In fact, then I would say, oh, gee, I'm not going to make that mistake again, and then I would make it again. And I think it actually matters whether somebody has a good heart. It really does. And I've made the mistake of thinking that sometimes it's just about the brain. I think we really just got this, consciousness, like this little candle of consciousness, like a small light in the void. And we don't want that small candle in a vast darkness to be put out.